Unlock the car. Get out now.
Hey, calm down.
Get out of the car now.
Calm down.
Put it into park now.
It is in park. I am
Left
getting
3
out.
code 4, 1 resisting.
Welcome back to the LackLuster channel. In October 2024, Nolan was returning home with his family after a boating trip at Bahia Honda State Park. Shortly after leaving the park, Nolan noticed his boat wasn't properly secured to the trailer. Concerned about the danger of continuing on the highway, he immediately pulled into the Sunshine Key Marina to request permission to use their boat ramp and safely resecure the vessel. However, the marina manager denied Nolan's request because he wasn't a registered guest at the facility. Rather than risking an unsafe journey back onto the highway, Nolan pleaded with the manager for assistance, who eventually called the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, requesting a deputy to escort Nolan safely to a public marina.
Monroe County Sheriff's Office, do you have an emergency?
Yes, I have a non-emergency.
Okay, give me 1 second, please. 1 moment. Thank you for holding. How can I help you?
Yes, I was wondering if I could get a sheriff by Sunshine Key.
Okay. What's going on?
We have a boater that has his boat on a trailer that came from Bahia Honda, and he is saying that his boat doesn't look like it's held on tight, and I cannot allow him to use our marina. So we've advised him to go down to by Veterans Park there to use boat ramp, and he doesn't feel comfortable with that. And I asked maybe if a police officer could, at least watch him go down the streets securely so he can get with his boat and trailer.
He's trying to let the boat in the water, or he's trying to stay?
He needs to put it back in the water to securely put it back on the trailer. And if he's not a guest of the property here, I can't let him to use our facilities, unfortunately.
Okay.
And he's getting a little irate. He's saying, police won't do that. And I'm like, well, we may do that. Let me ask,
1 second.
If they could just escort him down the road or just watch him driving down the road that he feels is unsafe, but he made it here from Bahia Honda, so.
All right, 1 second. All right, no problem. We'll get him over there.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Dispatch did a decent job relaying the details of the situation to Deputy Lane as he was assigned the call. However, by the time Deputy Lane was en route, Nolan had already left the Sunshine Key Marina and returned to Bahia Honda State Park, planning to use the ramp there to secure his boat safely. But rather than assisting a motorist who was actively addressing a safety issue, Deputy Lane initiated a traffic stop against Nolan, citing him for driving below the posted speed limit and for towing an unsecured vessel.
Zulu 120549, Z120549 out of Louisiana on an F-150. Hello, hi, I'm Deputy Lane with the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, how can I help?
So we got called to Sunshine Key about you, and then on the way up there, I saw you going 15 miles an hour. And
my hazards on, correct?
Okay, that's not legal. You can't do that.
Can't do what?
You can't drive that slow under the speed limit.
It's a safety hazard.
It's a safety hazard for you to be on the road driving that slow under the speed limit, correct? Do you have your driver's license on?
So I need to get to this landing. Can we get it off of this? I work here.
Okay, fantastic. Good for you. I need your driver's license.
For what?
Okay. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Unlock the car and get out now.
Hey, calm down.
Get out of the car now.
Calm down. I am. Getting out.
You want to? Hey, you want to shut up and grab me?
I'm getting out. Oh shit! My truck. My truck. You
Put the
fucking
fucking
idiot.
truck in the park.
Oh shit! My truck. My truck. You
Put the
fucking
fucking
idiot.
truck in the park.
Yes, I am.
Put it in the park now. Put it in the park now.
You do it. Start.
Put it in the park now.
It is in park. I am
Left
getting
3
out.
code 4, 1 resisting.
I am not.
Put it in the park. Get out of the fucking car.
It is.
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back now.
I am.
Put your hands behind your. Put your hands
They
back.
are, look
Stop
down.
pulling away from me. Stop pulling away from me. You're going to get tased.
Down.
Stop pulling away from me. You're going to get tased.
I am not.
Stop.
Pulling.
Stop.
I am.
Stop pulling away from me. You're going to get tased. It's in your
I
back
am
right
not
now.
Pulling.
Okay, stay right there.
This is absurd.
Okay, well, he needs to listen to what I tell him to do.
Listen. Did you see me? Your glove box is even open. I was getting you it, and I was asking you politely. It says to do not stop on shoulders.
Okay.
Can you adjust my wrist, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
Please understand that.
Left 23, code 51 to 10.
Can this other one please adjust the other way? My wrist cannot spin in it.
Do you have anything on you that's going to stick me, poke me, hurt me?
One pocket knife.
Your pocket knife? I'm good for now. If you can talk to her inside of the car.
Why is she being rude?
I'm not sure.
Why is she being rude too?
Because I'm a law enforcement officer and so is she,
And
and
I'm
I
a
have you in
fire.
handcuff right now.
Okay, but no need to be rude, is there? Oh no, please don't break that. That was expensive.
Left 23, I got FWC with me as well. You have anything else on you?
No, sir.
So in the state of Florida, when you're told to identify yourself on a traffic stop by law enforcement,
I did.
saying no when I say give me your driver's license is
I
not
did
complying.
not say no.
Okay.
Do you have this on recording, please?
Yes, it is on
Okay,
recording.
thank you.
Just like when I told you to step out of the car and you said no, I tried to open your door, you grabbed my hand and pushed me away. That's battery on law enforcement. That's
That
a
is
felony.
not exactly what I was doing.
You grabbed my hand, that's felony.
Oh my God, I was trying to put the park.
Hello, is there anyone else inside the car or just you?
My children and his service dog.
Okay.
My husband has a traumatic brain injury, so his ability to process information and respond effectively is impaired. I was going to try to see, I think his wallet is here in the boat. I was going to grab it. He has a brain injury card. I am his legal caregiver in addition to being his spouse. We are volunteering here at the park, and it just became stressful because he was
What's your name?
I'm Katie Bates.
Katie.
or Catherine
So the
Bates.
problem though is that when I tell someone to give me their ID and they say no, that's refusal to identify.
Did he say?
He said no.
Deputy Lane was too busy being condescending to realize that Nolan never refused to give his driver's license. He had simply asked, "What for?"
I work here.
Okay, fantastic. Good for you. I need your driver's license.
For what?
I thought he was driving.
No, he was not. And then when I tell him to open the door and he says no, that's again refusing an order from. Hold on, I'm talking. That's refusal to identify himself and refusal to exit the vehicle, which is an order from a law enforcement officer.
Right.
Furthermore, when I reach inside the car to unlock the door and he grabs my hand, that's felony battery on law enforcement. Fourth, when I do finally get the car door open and he pushes me away, that's battery on law enforcement. He cannot touch me. Okay? The brain injury, that sucks. I'm very sorry for you and your family. He cannot touch me. He cannot refuse orders that I give to him. This is legal, lawful. Fourth, when I do finally get the car door open and he pushes me away, that's battery on law enforcement. He cannot touch me. Okay? The brain injury, that sucks. I'm very sorry for you and your family. He cannot touch me. He cannot refuse orders that I give to him. This is legal, lawful traffic stop. He's impeding the flow of traffic going 10 miles an hour on US 1. You cannot do that. He is correct. It is a safety hazard to do that. That's why I pulled him over. He can't do that. Okay?
I apologize. Like I said, his response and his ability to know what to say in stressful moments is impaired because of the brain injury. He literally has missing pieces of his brain. And so when giving orders or whatever, his responses are often off. Like even when I'm asking him to do something or reminding him to brush if he's planning to do it, his words don't come out the correct way all the time. So I'm sure, being in your career path, you've dealt with that.
The incident report repeats several erroneous claims. First, that Nolan was attempting to launch his boat, failing to describe the family's actual situation. Instead, Deputy Lane wrote that Nolan was driving at an extremely low rate of speed. The deputy also wrote that when he found the door handle and placed his hand on it, Nolan grabbed his hand and began to squeeze while pulling on his hand. However, when watching the video again, the deputy's allegations appeared to be fabricated.
Okay. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Unlock the car and get out now.
Calm down.
Get out of the car now.
Calm down. I am.
Come here.
Out.
And when describing the merits to the resisting charge, the deputy conveniently leaves out the issue of the vehicle being in drive, and that Nolan's resisting was required to stop the vehicle and boat from rolling away and dumping his family into the water.
I am.
Come here.
Out.
You want to stop? You want to try to grab me?
Getting out. Oh shit! My truck. My truck. You
Put the fucking truck in the park.
Yes, I am.
Put it in the park now. Put it in the park now. Put it in the park now.
It is in park. I am getting out.
And now, backup units arrive on scene.
So you want to give you his ID?
He wouldn't ID himself. Tried to open his door. It was locked. Tried to reach inside to open the door. He grabbed my hand. I finally got the door open up, and then he pushed me away. So.
He did try to open the glove box.
I'm code 6.
His wallet.
He did not.
The glove box is open because he tried to get it open to get his wallet
No.
for you.
He said no to me.
Okay.
He said for what?
Like I said, his words and his actions sometimes don't match up because of his brain injury. He was opening the glove compartment to grab his wallet. His wallet is not in there, unfortunately, and I don't see it in the boat. Our camper is here if I need to go to the camper to get it.
So you don't know who he is yet?
No.
Do you have a social?
Yeah.
You know his social?
Yes.
All right.
The backup unit continues to speak with the family, and Deputy Lane returns to his cruiser to speak to Nolan.
Everything okay?
Yep.
Okay.
What's your first name?
Nolan. Nolan.
Olan?
Yes, sir. With an N at the beginning. I don't care that.
Nolan, okay.
Yes, sir.
Nolan. All right, I'm gonna open the door for a second to talk to you,
Yes, sir.
but I don't want you to try to get out
No,
or
sir.
do anything, okay?
Yes, sir.
Is that your wife?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually, look, I was not trying to be combative. I have a slow thinking.
She
and
explained that to me, okay?
all of a sudden, I realized I'm not in park, and I wasn't trying to resist you. I was trying to let you, but yet, and then when we finally got out, I promise you, I was not trying to resist. Like,
I understand why you got back in the truck. That was probably for the best since you have kids in the car.
thank you. I'm very so. I know I've worked in the fire my whole life, and I know exactly what y'all go through at that moment. I know exactly.
Okay.
When you see me trying to jump back in, I'm
the main
thanking
problem-
you. I want to thank you the highest for not pulling that trigger when I jumped back in. I know when the adrenaline starts pumping. Oh my gosh, yes. My
Okay.
adrenaline was pumping too.
So the main problem that I have though is you grabbed my hand and you pushed my arms away. You cannot do that to
I
police.
didn't mean to push you away. I was trying to assure you that here you have my hand, but let me reach with the other hand and. But I can't think of how to say it. My adrenaline was pumping, and I'm just like, here's one, but let me. I swear to you, on God's hand, I put God all over my life ever since my accident. I swear to you, I was not trying to resist. I put my life in God's hand on that swear.
Okay.
I assure you, if there's any way I could prove that to you, I guarantee you I would.
Okay. All right, Nolan. I'm going to close the door real quick. Give me just 1 second. I'll come talk to you again.
Deputy Lane now calls the supervisor.
So he was driving really slow down US 1, waiting for him to pull into Bahia State Park, and I pulled up in the median. He went past me. I put on my lights to pull him over. He kept driving for a little bit and putting his hand out the window. He was going 10 miles an hour on US 1 in Bahia Honda, and he had a long line of cars. Yeah, with his hazards on. And he said So I pulled him over inside of Bahia State Park. He kept driving for a little bit, not like fleeing or anything, but he kept driving for a little bit, and he was like putting his hand out the window, doing the like what do you want gesture type thing. So I finally stops. I walk up and told him why I pulled him over, and he said that he has his hazards on, and that's why he's going slow, because there's a problem with the boat or something. But he has his hazards on, and he thought that was legal, and I said no. I asked him for his license, and I think he said for what, and I told him I needed it, and he was at first refusing to give me his driver's license. So I tried to open up his door from the outside to tell him to get out. He said no. So I reached inside through his open window, grabbed the door handle, and he grabbed my hand while I was trying to open up his door. I got the door open, I opened it up, I tried to go hands-on with him, and he starts pushing me away, like pushing my hands away, grabbing my hands and pushing me away. I grabbed him by the foot because he put his foot up in the air, and I tried to drag him out by his foot, and then his car was still in drive and it started rolling. Hold on. Sorry, can you hear me now? So yeah, I got the door open, he's pushing me away. I grabbed his foot to try and pull him out by his foot because he had his foot up in the air towards me. So I grabbed his foot, pulled him out, and then the truck started rolling forward, and he's got his wife and his 2 kids in the back seat. So he starts saying, my truck is rolling, and I let go of him for a second so he could put his truck in a park so it wouldn't like go into the ocean. And then I grabbed him again out of the car, and he kept like pulling away from me. I had my taser out and I put it up to his back and told him I was going to tase him, and he kept just like kind of pulling away from me until finally I told him like, look, my taser's in your back. I'm gonna shoot you with the taser if you don't stop. And then finally he stopped pulling away, and I was able to put him in handcuffs. Yeah, I mean, I was going to do batter on LEO. He grabbed my hand and yeah, pushed me away. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Katie.
Katie. So unfortunately, I do have to take him to jail because he grabbed me. Okay, I could look past the initial refusal to give me his ID at first, and I didn't give him 20 chances to do it. But if I tell someone to give me their ID and they say no, or what for, I understand what you're saying. He was reaching for the glove box. I don't know that that's what he's looking for. If he's telling me no, or what do you need my ID for, to me that's a no. I'm not giving it to you. Okay. The problem though is that when I tried to get him out of the car, he grabbed my hand, he pushed my hands away from him, and then I'm trying to put him in handcuffs, and he's pulling and turning away from me. Because of that, I have to take him to jail.
Is there any way
I have to take him to jail?
Is there any way you could have the mercy in you to view it like someone with autism? You know that an autistic person would do something similar when someone's grabbing them. It's like an instinctive response because their mental...
If his mental capacity is so diminished that he doesn't know not to put his hands on a police officer, he should not have a driver's license. Okay? So either he is more mentally incapacitated than the state of whatever state his driver's license is out of knows, or he's more intelligent than you're leading me to believe. Because either way, he's driving a car, so he's got to have at least like an 80 IQ to be able to drive a car. So if he's got that,
I'm not sure what
he should probably know not to grab a police officer.
I'm not sure what the testing was that they did. They went through a neuropsychologist, neuropsychiatrist, full driving tests, like more than just the driving test that a teenager goes through to get their permit. And he was approved through that. But of course, in a class like that, it's not going to be a situation where an officer's trying to grab him out of the car. So it's a different thing to be in the moment. Mm-hmm. And like I said, view it like a person with autism. Like their initial response is to be like, someone's grabbing me, oh my God, let go. So if there's any chance you could please have...
I just talked to my sergeant. My sergeant said to take him to jail because he touched me.
And listen, at the same time, I understand your perspective, but you also have to understand his perspective. But also in this instance, if he goes to jail, you also have the ability to go to court and argue that side of it. I understand that, ma'am. But we still have to do our job. The incident occurred. Also, I have another issue with the boat. The registration for the vessel isn't coming back with the same thing as it in, so I was wondering if I could see the paperwork for that. Yeah, so the registration...
Did you run her?
Yeah, I added it to the call.
Okay.
So we're gonna run it.
This, it didn't come back to the same type of vessels than him.
I'll double check on my end.
All right. Well, I'm taking him for matter on LEL. So
Okay. No, 100%. That's.
they freaking grab my hand, push me.
That's all. Send me some
Catherine, here's your ID. Look, I understand. I understand. I have to take him to jail. Okay, Catherine. That ship has sailed. I have to take him. I understand. You know, this is hard. I don't want to take someone to jail with a mental disability. But at the same time, if he's driving a car and I pull him over for a traffic violation, going 10 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone is a traffic violation. He can't do that. That's why I pulled him over. When I tell the driver of a vehicle on a traffic stop to give me his driver's license, he has to give it to me. If I tell him to step out of the
Please, we can't.
If I tell someone to step out of the vehicle under Pennsylvania versus MIMS, they have to step out of the vehicle. If they refuse, that is obstruction.
I understand all of that, and I understand from your perspective, you have to protect yourself to get home to your own family and all of that. Trust me. I wish he didn't have a brain injury. I wish he didn't have those moments where he doesn't.
And I'm very sorry that your family has to deal with that, Catherine.
But please, because this is something that's like, you're basically putting me in jail too.
I'm not putting you in jail. You're still here. You can take the car and the boat, go back to your campsite. You can get him out tomorrow. We'll have first. You can. Look, there's ways in the court. If he's actually got a brain injury, you could.
I said, like a girl, I'm just asking if he needs medical.
Is yours ghost camera too?
No, mine's stand by right now. Stand by.
Please, God. I didn't mean any of this, Lord. Please. Please.
Alright, so do you need medical attention? Is there any pain, anything like that? I'm just gonna get a serious.
No, Lord, please. Please, please, Lord. This is not. I'm so sorry. I want to go apologize to those people.
Catherine, are you able to drive this back to your campsite?
Probably not.
Okay, because the other thing we'd have to do is call a tow truck.
I can probably get someone here in the park, one of our friends here.
Yeah, this guy right here, I don't know if you know him, but why was he going so slow?
Because we drove from here, we were headed to Marathon to get gas in the boat, and as we were driving down the road, he realized that the trailer was like bouncing too much, and he didn't feel safe driving it, so he pulled over at that gas station. Go ahead.
That's his items I was giving to you.
He pulled over at that gas station by the RV park, and he just wanted to be able to use their marina real quick to scoot the boat further forward on the trailer. And one person told us, no, it's a liability reason to use it. So he tried like kind of brake checking the boat to scoot it forward. He tried cranking it with everything he could to get it forward, and he felt nervous to get on the road with it. And then he went in and talked to the management, and they were just trying to explain to him that it was liability. He said that he would be happy to pay as a guest in order to be able to use the boat ramp. And they were trying to, tell him there were boat ramps a mile up one direction and a couple miles back the other direction. And so then they had called for an escort to bring him back here, and he was just stressed and flustered and just kind of decided to get on the road and try to go slow coming back here.
Because when I was heading up there, I saw you guys. You probably saw me pass you.
I should have trusted you more, Lord. And I'm so very sorry.
When we saw you pull off here, we kind of thought maybe you were helping escort us the rest of the way to the boat ramp, which is why you didn't pull off initially and stop to talk to you.
Yeah, I just couldn't pull you guys over on US 1 because of the construction site, and he started that turn, so I didn't want to try to stop him in the middle of the road when there was cars coming, so I waited until you guys were in here to pull him over. I wouldn't have even given him a ticket. I was just going to tell him that he was driving slow and he can't drive that slow on US 1.
Right.
And all I needed was his driver's license.
All Deputy Lane needed was a driver's license. But for asking, what for? The deputy induced an altercation, escalating the encounter to felony charges.
complicate things so much over something so little.
Is there any way you can like modify the report to where like, he was falling out of the vehicle and he grabbed you to brace himself, not grabbing
I'm not gonna lie.
aggressive?
I'm not gonna perjure myself for someone I don't know. I'm gonna watch my body camera and the in-car camera, and I'm gonna go word for word and action for action when I write the report. I will document in there how you're telling me he had his brain injury. What was that caused by?
A motorcycle accident. We were heading to dinner one night and a vehicle from another direction took a left-hand turn in front of us. He actually wasn't supposed to even live, and then they weren't sure if he was going to be paralyzed or what sort of function he was going to have. And he's made amazing progress, but there's still, there's deficits. Just like if you lost a limb, there's things that are difficult. He lost a chunk of his brain, so certain things are difficult. Am I able to give him his anxiety medicine before he goes?
They have all the medicine down there. As long as he knows the name of it, they'll be able to supply it to him.
He's not going to know the names. Can I give you like a list or something? Can I write?
Yeah, I can take a picture of it.
Okay.
Does he have his phone?
I don't know. It might be in the truck.
Can you
Is he allowed to take his phone?
It'd be good if you get his phone so he can get your phone number and he can call you.
He'll be able to use his phone to call me?
The jail phone. He'll be able to get phone numbers out of his personal phone.
I think I have a note with all of his prescription information. Yeah, here we go. Do you need to get a picture of it, or should I email it to you? Or?
You can email it to me.
Okay.
Now that the adrenaline wore off, my thumb is jammed, or my middle finger is jammed from him grabbing me.
I'm sorry. I don't think he intended to hurt you. He was not. He just got panicked. It's just
I don't know. When someone leans back like this and puts their hands up and puts their feet up towards you, it kind of looks like an attack position.
No, that's a fear position. That's like a possum.
I'm trying to get you out of the car, and you're putting your hands up, and
that's like a scared position.
She wanted to give me a list of his medications for the jail.
Eventually, Nolan was transported to jail.
Nolan, I'm gonna review the body camera video when I write the report, and I'm gonna be very honest in the report, and I'm gonna put exactly what happened, and I will document, like I said, what you're telling me about your brain injury. But
I want to assure you I was not trying to.
Okay, I will put that you said that in the report.
Trying to roll away.
Well, that's why I let go of you, because your car started moving, and I let go and said put it in park.
Nolan was charged with resisting without violence, which is ironically contradictory to his second charge of felony battery on a law enforcement officer. Despite the cause of Nolan's brain injury, Deputy Lane failed to restrain him during the transport. The case is still ongoing.